So, hello everyone. It's been definitely a while since I've done this series, but we're back, baby. If I sound a little weird, it's because I currently have the flu and my voice sounds terrible. If you want to know who gave me the flu, it was my bestie, and I'm still a bit mad at her for doing so. But, meh, what can we do? Anyway, so last episode, if you remember, Pencil got eliminated. Now, okay, so by this point, yeah, Fire and Leafy's quote unquote conflict has probably been already resolved, and they don't want to be with Freeze Mart anymore. Yeah, they definitely switched back to Team Noni. So for the challenge, anything could go, considering how Flower, who's currently competing, she was the host of today's episode. So I was originally going to put Freeze Mart up for elimination like the original episode did, but that just be very forced to get Flower or Ice Cube out. So let's change up something and put Team No Name up for elimination for whatever reason, considering they don't have an arc going on. Talking about arcs, Team Friesman would definitely need a new leader, since it's clear they don't work well without one. So the new leader of Friesman would probably be Ice Cube, considering how she's the quote unquote smartest one out of there. She's not very bright, but like compared to the other three, she's definitely the least dumb out of there. So about the elimination, yeah, it's obvious that Fiery and Leafy are the first one safe. Fiery most likely got is the first one safe, and Leafy is the second one safe. But because of their quote unquote conflict just got resolved, and that would give them even more popularity than they already had. So yeah, they're the first one safe. So now it's down to the bottom two, Gelatin and Tennis Ball. Gelatin and Tennis Ball both are here for the same reason, basically not having anything to do, since they both have just their personalities to keep them quote unquote popular. But Gelatin is definitely the more blander one. And I'm pretty sure he'd be confident he'd survive this elimination, considering the last time he was up for elimination, if you remember, he received the most votes. But that would bite him in the ass since it's obvious Tennis Ball survives. I'm sorry, even if he was extremely popular in BFDIA, there's no way he survives over Tennis Ball. Tennis Ball was literally the king of likes during this era. So, okay, for this episode, unlike what BFDIA actually did, let's actually make the merge. Since they also announced that was officially the halfway point, I think it makes sense to make the merge right now. So yeah, let's just merge the teams. There are no teams anymore. So this merge is definitely interesting. But let's get to the more important stuff, the challenge. Okay, so again, just like last episode, Flower is supposed to be hosting here, or the Bugs. But since Golfball isn't even competing here, and Flower does not have her phone, we do not know what could happen. So let's just leave the challenge the same. So because of their alliance, Free Smart, aka Bubble, Ruby, Ice Cube, and maybe Flower team up against the other ones. I think they most likely hit either Rocky or Tennis Ball first. Either way, they were not gonna be, you know, they were not winning immunity. For the next ones out, definitely Bubble, Bomby, and probably Fiery and Ice Cube. Yeah, that seems fair. I think that Teardrop and Needle could maybe team up because of their friendship and also get, a decent amount of people out. And with only having Flower to help her, Ruby is definitely not winning immunity. Honestly, even if you might think Flower should not win immunity, I think that her hatred towards the Bucks make her actually avoid them enough and make her win immunity. So yeah, Flower's immune this episode. So, because of Fiery and Leafy's friendship, they're the first one safe. Although Fire is the first one safe, most likely. Considering how much screen time they would receive, I think Teardrop followed by Needle would be the safe. While Bomby nor Ice Cube might not be as popular as the other four mentioned, they are still safe and receive a decent amount of votes. Okay, so you may ask, how did Bubble get dragged so just to the bottom four when she's one of the most popular characters? Well, if you remember, she won season 1, And now people might have began thinking that she's overstaying, which may cause her to receive less votes. But nonetheless, she's safe, barely escaping the bottom three. Now it's down to Rocky, Ruby, and Tennis Ball, probably the contestants with the fewest things to do and arcs in BFDIA history. Of course, Rocky is here because of his barfing tendencies, Ruby is here because of her hyperactiveness and just being annoying, and Tennis Ball again is here because of not doing much. Although all three are, as I need to repeat myself, that all three of them are here because they don't do much. But of course, Rocky is safe. This leaves it down to the bottom two, Ruby and Tennis Ball. This would have been extremely close, and I think this is very controversial, but Ruby's eliminated. I think that since none of them have much to offer, I think the viewers would vote purely based on their personalities, and TB has clearly a more likable personality amongst the community, so there is no way Ruby would survive against him. So, as you may know, we skip episode 13 because it mainly just fixes the timeline, and we move on to episode 14. So, this challenge is definitely gonna be a little bit difficult because 7 out of the 10 people that were originally here are now missing. So, I think even if it's the merge, I think it'd be a little fun to have, like, the 2-person teams, the pairs. So, yeah, let's do them. So, Bubble and Ice Cube are definitely still in the alliance. Needle and Teardrop's alliance, friendship, I don't think it'd be altered, so they'd still team up. Tennis Ball, of course, goes with Rocky. And, Bommy, not wanting to end up with Flower, just picks Fiery, and now Flower has to be with Leafy. Well, this is gonna be a little difficult. So, it's a bit hard to decide who's up for elimination, but if I had to take a guess, I think it'd be, there'd be definitely conflict between Leafy and Flower, which would mean they wouldn't be up for elimination. Same with Bommy and Fiery's team. They definitely wouldn't want to put TB and Rocky's team together, since they didn't have that much time to shine during Battle for Dream Island. So I think they just give them more space so that they could, do stuff. Which leads it to Needle and Ice Cube and Teardrop and Bubble and Ice Cube. The only one of these 4 that didn't get extremely far during season 1. Well, I'm just focusing on BFDI what if it was what to say. So the only one who didn't get far is Ice Cube. So I think it'd be fair to, put Needle and Teardrop up for elimination, since they got extremely far. Well, for me, this elimination was extremely hard to decide, These two would, by this point, be fan favorites, so I don't think any of them would be leaving anytime soon. But if I had to guess, I'd say Needle. I think people would grow tired out of her, and they just want to see her gone. So yeah, that's why I think people would vote for her. But remember, wouldn't vote for her. This would be extremely close. Probably Teardrop would only save a few more votes than her. So, yeah. Okay, well, this was another bad episode, and, BFDIA 15. So, you know what? Let's just make it 1 person wins immunity, and that's it. And let's make it Tennis Ball, because I feel like it. He seems like he'd be able to get into the little birdhouse thingy. So, yeah, he's safe. Okay, so for this elimination, you might think it's not, but I think it'd be an extremely close vote battle. So yeah, let's begin. So first of all, Fire would be the first one safe. Even if he, got 5th place on season 1, I think that people would want to see more of him, since I think they'd find him very likable still. This might surprise you, but I think Ice Cube is the next one safe. Why? I think that she'd get more interesting and more stuff to do with Bubble now that she'd be the leader of Free Smart, and adding to the fact that she's already one of the most liked contestants. Yeah, she's definitely the second one safe. And Bubble would also be safe, even with the fact that she already won, and people might start trying to vote other characters, I think that she'd still have enough popularity compared to the others to survive. And again, Bami is the next one safe. He might not be too popular, but he's safe. Next one safe is Teardrop. You might think, why'd she get down from, being usually the first one safe to, bottom four? Well, I think that people seeing that she got Needle eliminated would probably be a bit mad at her and stop voting her. But that wouldn't be enough to get her out. So this is the bottom three: Flower, Leafy, and Rocky. Flower's here because even if I think that, in this season, she actually starts developing a slightly nicer personality, of course, she's still mean and egotistical, but she's actually starting to develop a personality, like in season 1, where she was just mean and annoying. Leafy is here because I think that after her arc, well, quote-unquote arc with Fiery, she'd become extremely boring and just being nice, and seeing how she got third last season and just having to deal with that, I think people wouldn't want to vote for her as much. And Rocky is here because, of course, being boring, of course, he's going to be in the bottom three almost in every single round following this, so just expect that. I think you might disagree with me, but I think Flower would survive. Considering how, she already changed, I think that just because she was annoying during season 1, I don't think that would be enough to get her eliminated. Now, bottom two, Leafy and Rocky. You might disagree with me, but I think Rocky survives. Again, it'd be extremely close. And why is that? Well, Rocky, remember, he still has popularity from earlier this season. And, even if he's starting to get more hate, I don't think that'd be enough to get him eliminated right now. And Leafy is eliminated because, again, she'd become just too boring for the viewers to handle. Again, this would be extremely close, and the vote difference would be around 50 votes. So yeah, expect the following rounds to be extremely close. Well, unless something happens with the characters, but I don't think that happened. So this is the end of it. So when BFDIA 20 releases, I'll do the part 4 from BFDIA 16 to BFDIA 20. So you can see that characters who didn't get a lot of time to shine during season 1 are now getting way more screen time. For characters like Ice Cube, Rocky, Tennis Ball, and Flower, and Bami is the only newcomer to have survived this far. And him and Ruby were the only ones who made the merge. That's crazy. But, anyway, now let's just hope for the better and see you when BFDIA 20 comes out. Well, of course, later. And let's see how many months it takes. So, yeah, bye and see you next video.